Act Natural with John and Courtney is a lifestyle podcast exploring the entrepreneurial culture in a practical way. Tune in to hear these two millennials balance their 6 businesses, small town politics, nonprofit, and a new baby who refuses to sleep through the night.
We are back again with the Act Natural podcast with John and Courtney. I'm John, she's Courtney. Here we go. What are we talking about today?
Today, John, we are talking about the shotgun effect.
Shotgun.
It's my shotgun.
We gotta start adding sound effects to this. Okay. What is the shotgun effect?
Okay, so the shotgun effect defines the action of quickly and sporadically semi-completing tasks far and wide in order to function and get the job done. Also known as patchwork. This method gets the job done but leaves a lot of holes that will need to be mended or patched later on.
Now, why do we have to talk about this extremely sensitive issue with me?
Sensitive issue?
No, I just think it's really appropriate timing to talk about it, because right now really was a commitment from the beginning of the year was to systematically walk through every single procedure, every venture, every thought or project we have ever had, evaluate it, and then establish a way of moving forward. And I think for so much of our lives and everything, it's always been do everything you can just to get the job done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people would look at that as being a perfectionist or being obsessive compulsive about something. But we have taken the practice of making it good enough and then moving on. And that is fine, and a lot of people operate that way, especially small businesses, but
I don't know if I agree with that.
We want to be better.
I don't think I agree with that. I think that we have always tried to do the best that we can do, but we've taken the approach of patchwork to get us there. Okay. Because we've been so fast moving in becoming number one and becoming the best that we've not walked through that with patience. And that's 100% on me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, yeah. Because think about this. So I want to make Martin Coffeehouse number 1 in Tennessee. So, okay, I need all new product. I need a new espresso machine. I need 2 new walls built in the back. I need new restaurant equipment. I need so many more things. Well, instead of focusing on the training program and the procedures for closing the shop and all that, it's a sporadic jump. It's, okay, I'm going to order tumblers, more lights, new equipment. We just got a new Slayer, and it's not walking through it by step. So I've always hated that word good enough. I've never been about doing something good enough. It's always been, it's 1:00 in the morning, all the money is been invested, we're completely spent and overworked. This has to be good enough for tonight.
I agree.
Right? Wouldn't you say that?
That's what we've always done. We have not said, well, it's good enough for Martin or anything like that. That has been
definitely
our motivation to challenge that kind of
But our method has been wrong.
Yeah, well, our method has been, I think that we just bit off a little too much at times. So we would say, we can do this, but there's going to be a little bit of sacrifice in the way that we want to get it all done.
And it's not just been personal sacrifice. I will 100% agree. We recently, maybe like a couple of months ago, rebranded Fox Weddings. So Fox Weddings is the very first business that I started. It's 10 years old. We've shot over 170 plus weddings. It's huge. Let
me pause and say 10 years old. So you are 27.
About to be 28. So Fox Weddings was a first business that we started 10 years ago, and it became like my complete focus for several years. All throughout college, after college, got Courtney into it. We grew a crew where we were shooting 70 plus weddings a year. Now we cut back and we're shooting 30 weddings a year, Court?
About that.
About 30 weddings a year. We're already booked for most of next year's season. But while that was happening, you have to constantly reinvent and like rebrand companies every like couple of years. Well, we paused with that because Letters in Motion came, and then Martin Coffeehouse came, and all of that. And finally we took a step back and we reevaluated, okay, is Fox Weddings like trending now? Is it relevant? Does it have a fresh look? And about a couple of months ago, we created a new logo, a new website, redid a lot of the highlighted couples that we have, wrote stories, reimagined how we're going to market it, and then boom, automatically 20 weddings we booked.
Yeah.
Because it was no longer a shotgun effect. It was no longer, oh, we got to go to a bridal show. Oh, we got to do this. Oh, we got to do that. We got to do that. Let's just do it all. It was, no, let's work on step one. That's the image. Mm-hmm. So new logo, next. Website, next. Descriptions, next. And that's the whole theme of everything now. Like, we have to get out of patchwork.
Right.
And I think that for me, it formed a habit. Because we were forced to have to do patchwork, because we were, I guess a better way of saying it is, because we had no idea what to do with Martin Coffeehouse. Zero information. Mm-hmm. There's no way to methodically walk through that because there's no experience.
Exactly.
You have to do everything.
The thing is that you would get in the middle of something, and then we would find, oh, okay, well, if we are going to start this menu, well, then we have to have a cost analysis of every single item.
Yes.
Or, okay, well, if we're going to launch breakfast, well, then we need to rethink the way that we make this
What kind of tortillas are we going to use?
Exactly.
There's 5 different types.
Or tortillas. And so that would get us into workflow. Well, if we're going to have better workflow, then we need to rearrange the whole way that we're doing this kitchen.
Yeah.
And we need to invest in commercial machinery so that it won't keep going out on us or whatever we were facing. So we would start something and then find ourselves, okay, you open that door and there's just a whole hallway full of doors that we've got to go through.
How many different baskets and plates did we buy?
We bought so many.
How many different types of forks? Because it didn't fit on the plate properly, or it didn't look right, or the wax paper didn't fit on it. We have bukudos of defective products that we went through constantly because the business required it. It required us for the shotgun effect. Mm-hmm. But we became in the habit of moving to the next step in a patchwork way, and
right.
that's not the solution. So I think even as an individual, what do you think about that? Like, it's so habitual for me to say, okay, the business is already running. We're doing awesome. We have 2 coffee shops.
Right.
So why are we still like trying to just rush and do everything at one time?
It's because we were doing that for so long. It's such a habit that we had to be running. I love the example that I think you've even used on here before. It's like the engine is running downhill.
Yeah.
And bolts are flying everywhere, but it's going to get there. It's got to get there, but no matter how fast it goes, pieces are flying, and then by the time you get there, it's only like half of, I don't know what you say.
No, it's nothing left. Absolutely.
There's nothing left. All the pieces are behind you, up the mountain, in a ditch. And so it's worked, and I think that it's almost like muscle memory. It's like, okay, well, if we want to get that done, I can get it done for you.
What is it, like slow and steady wins the race? This is such a common thing to talk about, because it really is so overlooked all the time. But it's one of the most important things, because we've been running. And then, okay, we'll just keep on running, which gets into burnout.
Yeah.
Right? But burnout. I don't know. I think that the dangers of always taking the approach of doing all kinds of not focusing, right, leads to just more patchwork, because you have to evaluate and systematically walk through it. If you don't, then you will get burnout. And I think, I don't know, I mean, do you want to talk about a time like that? Or
I just know, I could talk about a time whenever I had the shotgun effect. Takes me back to the classroom, I guess. So some people know, some people don't know that I used to teach English for 3 years. Started off in 9th grade. I student taught in a classroom at Obion County Central High School, and it was amazing. And then I ended up getting a job there in the same classroom that I student taught in, so that was really cool. And I taught there for a year, and then attendance was down because people were going to a different school in the area, and so they wanted to keep me because I had really good scores. And so they wanted to move me in county, so I went to South Fulton Middle High School and ended up doing middle school English, 8th grade English. I think a lot of people, especially teachers, would understand you've got a lot of stuff to cover. Especially in English language arts, you've got a lot of stuff to cover. And these standards are evolving and they are vast, and you've got a 50-minute period, and you've got to get the class on the same page and moving on to the next lesson.
That kind of sounds like an impossible situation.
It's not impossible. I was an okay teacher, but there are so many more teachers out there who are way better than me. They are taking it on all the time. I was actually just following my friend that I went to college with. She was my, what is it called? It wasn't roommate. She was my suite mate in college. Kelly McNeil, who's not McNeil anymore. And she's got an Instagram page of like 35,000 followers of her in the classroom. I think it's like KCSAC 5th or something. She teaches 5th grade. She's incredible. And she is rocking it. It is the middle of summer. Where is she? She's in the classroom, overachieving, getting the job done, rocking out. She also sells things on Teachers Pay Teachers because she's a pro. But people do it all the time. They find a way to cover all of this material. But at the end of the year, even the best of the best get desperate. And you do the shotgun effect and you just spray and hope that people will catch on and concepts will be understood, and you gotta move on because this ship is rolling and we've got the test coming up next week and we're gonna review as much as we can. But if a new concept comes up, you're gonna cover it the best you can and move on. And I definitely faced that in the classroom. I tried my best to plan and to cover everything in a systematic way, but even with that, you'll find that there's holes. Someone misses because of sickness, or a student transfers or comes in at the middle of the year and they didn't get that whole first half of the material, and it's just a challenge. And every single teacher knows what I'm talking about.
I couldn't be a teacher.
You could.
No, I don't know. I don't think that I could. I mean, we have a staff of 20 or so right now, and they're doing great, and they follow procedure. But I think I'm too intense. I've been told that a lot. I don't try to be. I really don't even want to be honest. I struggle with this.
You know what that intensity is?
I don't want to be intense.
It's passion. You just want to relay the message.
Yeah, but there are amazing people out there that when they speak, like, they are heard. And they lead people, and they encourage people, and they empower people. When you're around those people, you want to perform better, no matter what the task is. And I think it's a combination of certain things. It's a combination of something that you have, which is just overwhelming joy. Right? Well, I think I do have joy, not on your level, or maybe I do, but it's just so masked by all of these problems. And I feel that if I could move over into a systematic way of operating, then it would not be so overwhelming to see all the mistakes, because there would be a game plan. And that more of a lighter personality that I have could come out, and maybe we could get more staff, because it is the struggle of a small business. It is a struggle of any sort of leader who is required to gather a group of people and move them towards a common goal. Mm-hmm. And that's in volunteer work, that's in humanitarian, everything, right? Anyone who's in charge of someone else, if you're a manager or a boss or owner or whatever, your whole job is dependent upon those people. And I live in the reality that the success of Mark Coffeehouse in 1822 and blah, 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 all the other stuff is all about the staff. Well, I constantly judge myself on staff problems and how they feel. They don't know that probably, but I'm really concerned with them. And I'm really concerned with our turnover. Like, we've had over 28 students quit.
Right.
No 2 weeks notice, no nothing. And it's the same pattern. And I tell them in every interview, if you only have an hour to commit, don't commit to an hour and a half. Commit to that, but be all present. And I also try to open up this way of communication. I said, hey, here's the pattern of a student. You're a student. One of the biggest lessons that you learn is how to balance a work life and a personal life.
Absolutely.
Right? That is really the most important thing, I think, to learn in college, is to learn how to balance your life, because it's very low risk. If you're a student and you think that your life is super complicated right now and you're dealing with stress, I'm not going to undervalue that. That is real.
It is real.
It is real. That is really stressful. Know that it's 10 times worse.
My brother always said that. I would talk about my life or get stressed out about something, and he would say, yeah, but that's all in your bubble.
It is in a bubble, but it's a very real experience. And I get that, right? So you're a student. You're learning how to balance all your life. You're committed to your studies. There's a lot of pressure on you. You're committed to your work. Well, you start slipping on your grades. So then you're going to start studying more, right? You start slipping at work and you're not communicating with your boss. That's me. Hello, please talk to me, right? Mm-hmm. So I can do this, right? I'm a college student. My mom did this. Sally did this. She can work 2 jobs. She has a kid and she's making straight A's, right? Well, people are not evaluating where they're at. So they start slipping at work. They feel bad about themselves. Something's got to give. And mom and dad bails them out. Well, if mom and dad is going to give you a bailout, right? Mm-hmm. You're definitely not going to work a job. And we have had amazing people. I mean, not listing any names, but people I thought that were just great. I never thought that they would quit. And then boom, they go through something hard at school. They start slipping at work. They get called out. They start slipping on their grades, and then they're out of there. Yeah. And I think about how sad that is. One, that's super upsetting for me to think that I didn't see that in them, which I don't think that you can, because there's an opportunity that has to come. Mm. But secondly, what the heck are you going to do in life, man? This is college. It's serious. You feel this, right? But you can't just quit your job in real life. Mom and dad aren't always going to be there to bail you out. There has to be a learning experience here. You should push through. Always. And the attitude, oh my gosh, of some of these people when they quit is well, this is not convenient for me. This is no longer aligns with what I thought the job was as far as the demand on the education level. Right? And that's frustrating, and I think with me now evaluating everything and looking back in a systematic way, this is the first thing that I'm focusing on is staff, hiring, firing, and really training. I
get it. It's important. I do want to say there have been people who have given 2 weeks notice or whatever, and this does not apply to them.
Well, this is the 28
no shows.
See you later.
And that's not cool.
How? I mean, I don't even know. When my dad kicked me out of the house, if I did that, it's not even in my blood. You have to be. I don't know. I don't even know I want to get into how strongly I feel about it. I think more or less I'm really just concerned. I'm really concerned with what the future workforce is going to be, because I don't understand how businesses operate. I don't get it. How are they able to be successful when they can't inspire? That's what it is. It comes back to me, right? This is the cards that I have. If I'm going to have a business, then no excuses, right?
Okay.
This is my staff. This is the group of people. So either I can use that and grow and be amazing, or I can sit here and complain about it. And for anyone trying to grow a business, that's what you have to accept. So I accept that. I'm not mad about it. but I am at a complete loss to figure out how do I do this? And I think my approach was, okay, shotgun, right? I'm going to patch everything together. I'm going to have one-on-one meetings. We're going to have bi-weekly staff meetings. We're going to do all this. But now my approach is different. Like I'm trying to walk through this, and I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of venting and partly asking a question on, how in the world do we communicate this? Like, it's important. Like, a job is important. You can't just leave.
Right.
Like, and I think what is so hard is they're so selfish. Like, you're thinking so much about only the consequences of that. You're leaving a work family, you're leaving a whole business.
Well, the people who leave without a 2 weeks notice, they aren't thinking about everyone else. They're not thinking about the team. They're not thinking about how it's going to scramble the schedule, and someone who already got approved time off is going to have to come in and cover and miss someone's birthday. Like, they're not thinking about those sacrifices that people are making for them. They're just thinking, this isn't cool anymore. This isn't fun anymore. My life is about what I want, and this no longer makes me happy. So peace out.
Yeah, dude. Like, there's such a rejection to work, and there's such this attitude of deservingness, like they really feel like they don't deserve to have to work. Just because you were born in this world does not mean that you deserve anything given to you. You deserve zero. You have to earn everything. Every moment should be earned. And I just don't understand this attitude of getting that. Sorry, this is off the shotgun effect. Anyway, that got me thinking about it. That's what I'm working on right now.
That's the big puzzle, and now we're trying to fix it without a patchwork system.
I am walking through this in an organized way. Courtney has done a great job writing our training manual. We have version 1.
Part of it.
We have version 1 done, and I'm walking through that, and it's something that I'm dealing with. Step number 1, I'm freaking angry. I am so angry. I am so mad at this. I hate dealing with this mentality of work that's just not there. And that's my first step in doing it.
It's a fundamental issue.
Yes, for all businesses.
Okay, so we are faced with like a prompt right now. Okay, how do we continue with our staffing? How do we continue with our training without going back into the habit of approaching the shotgun effect?
What's that in money too? Like right now, I love buying things. Oh my gosh, I bought $4,000 on strand light bulbs.
Right.
And then it's just so much.
I'm not allowed to talk about the light bulbs
That's
anymore.
true. No more light bulb talk.
We've had one too many discussions about my opinions on the light bulbs and purchasing them.
Yeah.
And that is no longer a topic we are allowed to talk about.
Well, I won't give any pros and cons. I will respect the no talking rule about light bulbs, but we can go to something else. We recently designed 8 stickers. They're really cool.
They are cool. Good job, Tanya Chopra at Fernway Fox.
With Fernway Fox, now sponsored by Fernway Fox. But, I have the next 2 years written out. I have a schedule of when the wall should go up and the product should be released. But I feel all of that pressure in one day. Mm-hmm. I think that's a problem with having vision. I very much can see how everything works together, how to fit it together, how to communicate it, and then how to run a good business. I see everything.
And so you just want to go for it.
In one day.
But that can't happen anymore.
No, it's a very much a bad mistake to make. I'm learning, man. Me and you, together.
We are going to practice fixing the holes from the shotgun effect in our personal lives.
Bam, bam, bam.
And I think if we practice doing that in our personal lives, I think that will unfold, and it will also snowball roll into our business lives as well. So what's something that we're going to do at the house in our personal lives?
I'm going to put together the kitchen table, man.
We're going to have a kitchen table.
Yes.
How long has it been since we had a kitchen table?
I don't want to talk about that.
It's been a long time.
Long time. I got 2 chairs in the back of my car. We're going to sit in 2 chairs.
We're going to have chairs. We're going to have dinner at the dining room table. We're going to have a dining room table.
That's awesome.
And it's going to be great.
I'm buying a new TV. No buying. I want a new TV, but we're not.
I know that we want a new TV. It's not exactly a priority.
We're going to put up the winter clothes. It's freaking summer.
Why do we have so many winter clothes?
7 coats right there.
We are both shotgun affecting this house. We're like, okay, flash cleanup, quick pick up the house. It's not a deep clean, but what did we do last night, John?
I don't even have we cleaned out the fridge.
We deep cleaned the fridge.
What? I washed the dishes.
You washed the dishes. I deep cleaned the fridge.
I don't want to talk about how long the lasagna.
We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about our new friends that we found with the lasagna. We're not going to talk about that. We are going to talk about how we are systematically going through and filling in the holes. Okay, so we worked on the kitchen. There's a couple other things I can do in the kitchen. I'm going to rearrange the Tupperware underneath the cabinets.
We bought all those boxes from Walmart for your bobby pins.
Yeah.
And your 9 things of nail polish.
Yeah.
And your essential snake oils.
My essential snake oils. And so those are now organized pretty well in the vanity cupboard thing. But now we need to move on to putting away our winter coats. So
you need some Drano?
I have Drano. We just have to use the Drano.
Apply the Drano. Systematic. Step 1.
So these are little areas. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I am excited. It's intimidating for me. I don't say that word a lot, but it is, because guess how easy it is to just do everything at one time. It's so easy to multitask. It's so easy to just give part of your brain here and here and here and here. The
result,
hey, I know,
is that it's not complete.
What it requires is discipline and
Yeah.
truly assessing where you're at. You need a picture of where we're at. I think we need to have a picture of our house. Hey, look, winter clothes are still here. The fridge got to be cleaned out. We did that, right?
Yeah.
The bathroom, living room, whatever, right?
Carport.
Outside freaking carport, right?
Yeah.
Here is the scope of where we're at.
Okay.
And here's the first step to get there. And we don't stop until that one step is completed. It's like Dave Ramsey talks about with debt, right?
Yeah.
You line up your lowest debt first, you pay off that one.
Man, we are giving some value points today.
I'm just saying, man, this is what we have to adopt in our new life. And I'm so genuinely excited about it, because when Henry was born, everything switched with me. I got knocked out of a schedule. I was waking up 5 o'clock every day.
You were doing good.
I was working till late. I was getting some stuff done. Henry came. Oh my gosh. It's taken me 7 months. Today marks the first day that I'm committed to waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I go and have my coffee. I've already completed a huge film.
You've done a great job today.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm getting back to my schedule. And for our house, I'm trying to stay on topic. We're going to walk through this in a step-by-step way. And then when we complete a step, we'll reward ourselves, we'll acknowledge that we're done, and we'll move on to the next thing. No more patchwork.
No more patchwork.
Not in the personal life, not at the house, not with our personal finances, business. No more patchwork. That's our commitment.
That's our commitment.
That should be your commitment too.
There are so many people out there who are struggling with this too. And maybe they haven't given it a name. Maybe they haven't identified the areas of the shotgun effect in their lives. But I think that maybe as a team together, we can all kind of start to go back and mend these holes. It is pertinent for your small business to have those areas fixed. It is very important for the family. It is very important to work on those areas in your home life and in your family life and your marriage. So, if you're struggling with those things, you're not the only one. So are me and John.
Yeah, absolutely. I will admit to that.
Okay, so game plan today. You're going to go back and finish up that second film you're working on.
Wedding film.
Wedding film. It looks amazing, by the way. And I am going to finish up this laundry because I patchworked the house and got it pretty straightened up except for 2 giant baskets of clothes.
Hate clothes.
I hate them more. So I'm going to work on those. And I've really enjoyed this podcast time during Henry's nap.
Me too, man.
And I think we're going to leave it there.
Okay, that is the Act Natural Show with John and Courtney podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in a couple of days.
Yeah. Bye.